The Cleveland Cavaliers have been a sleeping giant all year, and I think they're ready to wake up. As this entire season, they've basically been one of the best teams, but yet going under everybody's nose. It's been very, very impressive for how good this team is and how much talent this roster has, for how little media coverage it gets, and for how little just credit they actually get for how good they are. And what I mean by this is look at just the talent in both their front court and their back court alone. Their back court consists of Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell. Darius Garland has been once again playing at an extremely high level this year, still playing at that all-star level that he played at just last year. I think he well deserved an all-star appearance this year, and he has just been one of the better point guards in the league. He's still extremely young, and then obviously Donovan Mitchell has been playing at a superstar level basically this entire season. I think he had a 70-point game this year, which is absolutely insane. And on the year, he's averaging 28 points per game, 4 rebounds per game on 5 assists per game. To be averaging damn near 30 points per game while having Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, and Jarrett Allen on that roster is extremely impressive for them to be able to do, and they're hands down one of the best backcourts in the entire NBA. I would probably argue they're a top 3. They're definitely behind Dallas's of Luka and Kyrie because it's Luka and fucking Kyrie, but I'm not sure if they're the second behind Klay and Steph Curry anymore. I think you could definitely argue they're a top 2 backcourt or a top 3 at minimum. And then even if you move to their front court, they have Evan Mobley and Jarrett Allen. Evan Mobley is having a very solid second season, and despite popular belief of people saying he's not had the leap they expected, which is just a dumb take, like they added Donovan Mitchell to the roster, so no shit his points per game didn't go up. Like they did go up, but very slightly, but he has improved in other ways. Like his efficiency has definitely went up overall, and he's been slightly improved in most areas as well. So it's not like he's a worse player, he's just having a very slightly improved place, and he's not averaging that many points, or at least that many more points per game than his rookie year. But when you add a guy that's getting 28 points per game, obviously he's going to be getting less. Not everybody can eat on offense. And then on top of that, Darius Garland has continued to improve on the offensive end and scoring the ball. So someone has to lose their touches, and it just so happened that Evan Mobley is the guy. And once again, it's not like he's losing that many touches. He's actually averaging slightly more points per game this year than he did in his rookie season. And then they have Jarrett Allen, who's the unsung hero of this roster for sure. He's like the nerd, the anime guy, but he is an extremely good defender, extremely athletic. He's one of the best rim protectors in the NBA. He can grab rebounds. He's not incompetent on offense. He still gives them about 14 points per game. So he's extremely solid on both ways, but he's one of the best defensive bigs in the entire league, and he gets zero credit for it, really. And it's just extremely unfortunate. So really, you have to ask the question, how can a team of probably a top 3 front court and back court possibly get as little recognition as the Cleveland Cavaliers have gotten? And the only explanation is the fact that they're, well, Cleveland, okay? Nobody wants to talk about Cleveland because they're Cleveland. And that is very unfortunate, and as a fan of a small market team myself, I can see how that would be very frustrating. And if I was a Cavaliers fan, I would be very frustrated with how talented our team is, with how much success they've had in the regular season. For them to get as little mainstream media acknowledgement or really credit that they very rightfully deserve, it is very unfair for the players on the Cavaliers. And kind of zooming out of just their star level players on this roster, they have great role players on this team throughout the entire roster. The first guy off their bench is Caris LeVert. Caris LeVert is a great scorer, one of the more underrated guys off of anyone's bench. No one really talks about him, once again, because he plays for Cleveland, but he is still a very, very good scorer, and he's legitimately one of the better options that anyone can ask for coming off of their bench. Cedi Osman has been a very solid role player for years at this point. He's 100% down with the system. He knows exactly what Cleveland wants. He's just a very good player for them, and he's always going to be consistently there. Isaac Okoro is still a very good perimeter defender, and he even shows flashes on the offensive end. Now, although he never developed into probably what they wanted when they drafted him, he's still a very, very solid role player, and he's still fairly young, so he still has a little bit room to grow as well. And on top of those 3 great role players. They even have a few great veteran presences to really help lead this team. Because if you look at their stars, Garland and Donovan Mitchell are still very young. Evan Mobley is only in his second year, and Jared Allen, for the grand scheme of things, is also a fairly young player as well. So any team that is that young, that is this good, definitely needs direction. Because look at a team like the Memphis Grizzlies. They're a very young team, but they don't have that many veterans at all on that roster. And I mean, Ja Morant looks like he's trying to go to Compton. Dillon Brooks doesn't know when to shut the hell up. And they're just very, very undisciplined. And there's been rumors about them going out during practices and things like that. And Steven Adams has had to like call player-only meetings with them. And that's what happens when you have a young team, but not that many veterans to lead them. But the Cleveland Cavaliers do not have that problem, as they have guys like Ricky Rubio, who's a great presence. He's been all around the league. He knows how to win. He's been on good teams. He's been on bad teams. He's just a very consistent, probably voice in the locker room that everyone respects. So that's been huge since he's been able to return from his injury. They also just recently acquired Danny Green. Danny Green's been once again on bad and good teams all around the league. He knows how to help a team win. He knows what he needs to do. He's going to be a great voice in that locker room as well. And then even at the very end of their bench, they have someone like Robin Lopez, who, although doesn't give them much production on the court, is an extremely valuable piece off of anyone's team. And when it comes to their locker room presence, he's a very funny guy, great personality that I'm sure every player loves on the roster. So when you have 3 veterans that have been all around the league for years, that know how to keep a team, they know how to win, that is huge when trying to lead your young guys that are actually going to help you on court win the games. So they have unsung heroes like the veterans, great supporting cast around them, and even star level players littered throughout their starting lineup as well. So the fact that this team gets as little recognition as they actually do is extremely disappointing, and this is just coming from an observer. I'm a Pelicans fan. I'm not a Cleveland fan in any type, shape, or form, but I just think they deserve a lot more credit than they have been given for this entire year that they're currently having. I think they have like 43, 44 wins or something right now, and they're just having a very impressive season. But unfortunately, guys, that's more of this video. So comment below, do you agree with me? Do you think that Cleveland deserves more credit? How good do you think they are? Do you think they're kind of disrespected? I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. If you'd like to point, hit the like button and subscribe button. It would mean the absolute world to me. And I hope you have a blessed day, because I had a blessed day, so you need to have a blessed day. All glory to God. See you in the next video. Goodbye. Boo. Blah, blah.